Hey, what's up, y'all? I know that this lighting is shit and my voice sounds like shit, but it's because I'm sick and I'm home. So I was like, what else am I supposed to do but sit and talk about my favorite book series, which is Pretty Little Liars, as you may as well know since you read the title of the video. Hopefully I don't sound too bad and my voice is going to be strong enough to withstand a huge amount of time that I'm going to be talking about this show, about this book series. And I'm gonna warn you guys, it's not a recap. There are multiple videos on YouTube recapping the book series. One of them being Lucy, which I recommend watching her videos. She's so great and she's very detailed about what happened in the books. So I recommend watching her videos. I finished the books like 6 months ago, so some of my memories might be blurry, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little biased when it comes to some characters. So I'm not going to be like totally fair. It's just my opinions in this video. So if you don't agree, just share with some of yours in the comments. I'm always open to constructive criticism or to your opinions. So yeah, God, it's getting a little cold, so I'm gonna close the window. I haven't really thought about the structure of the video, but I'm gonna go character by character and I'm gonna tell whether I like them or not and what's their major difference from the book series and from the show is. So yeah, let's start. I guess I want to start from the main characters. I'm gonna start from Aria Montgomery. So the thing about Aria, when I first watched the TV show, I was obsessed with her, but it wasn't necessarily because of her character or because of her plot lines. Not gonna lie, Aria might be the most boring character in the TV show, because the only plot line throughout the whole show that she's participated in is her relationship with her predator boyfriend, Ezra. And honestly, I never liked him. Like, maybe when I first watched the show when I was a teenager, maybe I liked them. I don't know. I don't remember much from doing that. But I remember getting tired of them because it was just dragging on for so long. They were on and off, and it was just in your face the whole time, throughout the whole show. And then they got fucking married. I think one of the main reasons why I quit watching the show was Ezra and Aria. Like, they were so fucking boring. And yeah, okay, but we're not talking about the show today. We're talking about the books. And Aria in the books is so fascinating. I love her. I feel like the idea behind Aria in the first season, besides her relationship with Ezra, this mysterious aura about her, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, Aria just stood out, not just in her fashion sense, just the way she held herself, that she just walked, the way she talked to people, the way Allison treated her a bit different from other girls. It was all very interesting, but the show never dived into that, which was really sad. But in the books, it is so interesting because Aria, well, as you can already tell I really like Aria. She has blue black hair, she has blue eyes. She's very tall compared to Lucy Hale. I love Lucy Hale, but she looks nothing like Aria from the books, which is crazy because I feel like out of all the main cast members, she looks most like Aria from the books, but she still looks very different from that. I always imagined Aria from the books as Megan Fox, but like with dyed hair, with dark blue hair, if you get what I mean. And by the way, if you can't already tell, I feel like you can't even tell without a hood on that I have blue hair. It is actually fading. It's a little green at this point, but let's not talk about me. Okay, let's get into the juicy part. Let's get juicy with it. Like Hunter said from Ginny Genre. So at first, in the first book, the book doesn't start with Aria. So like Aria isn't the main character. She is part of the main cast, part of the main character's arc. Like 4 main girls, they always share the storylines. They have equal parts in it, which I really liked. So all the 4 Pretty Little Liars share a very unique relationship with Allison, and the way that they perceive her. They have their own reasons why they like Allison, but they all have one thing in common. They all love her. For different reasons, obviously. Aria just has this fascination with Allison because Aria hates every single person in Rosewood. Obviously, besides her friends and her family. But like at the start of the story, she doesn't have any friends. She thinks she's better than everyone else. Well, not necessarily. She thinks everyone is worse than her because they try to live up to that standard. Everyone is trying to be the same. Everyone does the same thing. Everyone has the same hobby. Especially boys, they always like point out like typical Rosewood boy and type stuff. Aria always describes people in Rosewood as such. Like they all are the same prototype of people, and they don't really take an interest in Aria. So she really has no respect for anyone, but she always liked Allison. And I feel like it's more of an artsy way because Aria loves arts. She loves paintings, she loves drawing, and Allison is this like unreachable perfection type of beauty. She's like a muse to Aria. She inspires Aria to like come out of her shell. She inspires Aria to try to be more outgoing, like to try new things. And don't get me wrong, Aria doesn't try to be like Allison, but she just has this, not necessarily obsession, I think it's like in a healthy manner, but she idolizes her for sure. And like everyone does, but I feel like the way that Aria describes her is more of an art gallery type of way. I don't know if I'm making any sense, by the way. But yeah, besides that, the way that Allison treats Aria in the books is also very different from the way Allison treats other girls in the books. And I'm saying Allison, but it's actually Courtney. But it's just easier to comprehend when I say Allison, you know what I mean? Because Allison always felt like she has to try a little harder to be friends with Aria, because compared to other girls, Aria doesn't have this drive to be popular. She doesn't have this wish to be liked by everyone else. She doesn't care about this superficial stuff like being the prettiest or having the most boys that run after her. She doesn't care. Obviously, she likes those stuff, but not to the point where Allison could use this against her. Like, Allison doesn't really have a weakness or a secret that Allison could pull so that Aria could be at her pawn. So she always tries to be the nicest to Aria. She always tries hardest when it comes to Aria, which also fascinated Allison as well, because almost everyone in her life usually just gives in very easily to her demands and wills. Okay. But besides that, I feel like we talked too much about her relationship with Allison. But let's talk about her life, about people surrounding her besides her friends. Her family, her mother, and her father are fucking shit. I'm not gonna lie. And not just that, just the way people treat her is honestly kind of horrible. Okay, so the cheating aspect of her father is the same as in the show. So like, her mom finds out through A that her dad has been cheating on her with his former student. So, and she also finds out that Aria knew about it for 3 years. Yeah, that's a huge difference from the show. So obviously she gets upset, which is understandable, but she kicks her daughter out. And she doesn't do it in like a dramatic way. She just kind of lets her know, like, you're not welcome here. I don't want you to be here. I don't enjoy being surrounded by you. And Aria just has to leave the house and live with her current, at the moment, boyfriend. And when when they broke up, she's basically homeless. So she has to go to her dad, even though she hates him. Because, well, to be quite honest, he is the reason why she was in that situation. But her mom isn't an angel either. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you to kick your daughter out, no matter what she has done, even if she killed someone? How can you kick someone out, bro? How can you kick your daughter out? That's just crazy. And let's talk about the Ezra thing. Ezra, oh my god, like, I didn't think it would be possible to make him creepier in the books, but it is. He's even worse in the books, and I know that everyone is celebrating the fact that, oh, he didn't end up with Aria and like he went to jail, but he was in jail for what, like 2 months? Maximum 1 year. He was let out and then he went back to Aria, and she was all happy and giggly. And then when, like, honestly, Ezra is so fucking stupid. Like, in the show, at least he was somewhat intelligent, but in the books, he's such a fucking idiot, bro. He went to jail because he was dating a minor. Totally understandable, fair. I'm glad that happened. Then he was let out because of his good behavior, I guess. I don't know what's going on around there. So he started texting Aria. He started writing a book about his perverted relationship with Aria. He came back to Rosewood to meet up with Aria. He was hooking up with her and let her read his book. She did, and she didn't like the masochistic, sadistic vibes going on in the books, and she was like, yeah, I'm not sure if I really like that, because he was also like lying in the books about certain things that happened. He was like painting Aria to be this, I don't know, but basically he was just painting Aria in a very bad light in that book, and she didn't like that, obviously. So she said that, like, oh, I love that book, but maybe you could change it a little bit, like, you know. And he was asking her for her opinion because she's passionate about it. And when she told him the truth, he got upset, he got mad at her, and just started flirting with the first high school girl that came into the same cafe. And later that day, Aria was in school. I think it was like a school party or something with parents involved. And she was with her parents, and she told Ezra, like, you can't come to the party for the obvious reasons. You are a lot older. You were my teacher. You are known for your predator behavior. Like, I can't be seen around you, which is logical. But he got upset, and he showed up anyway, and he was like, hi. He just came up to her parents, and Aria got upset for obvious reasons. She took him outside, and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? Are you fucking stupid? He didn't like that. So he was like, oh, you're ashamed of me? How dare you? So he just went 2 blocks away from that place and just started making out with another high school student, who is, by the way, a girl that tried to steal Aria's ex-boyfriend. No. I'm sorry. I just feel so bad for Aria. I might even do like a whole separate video. This might even be a whole separate video about Aria, not gonna lie, because I have so much to talk about. Okay, so now let's talk about the no part. I absolutely love Noel and Aria, especially at first when they get together, when they start hanging out. It was so cute. I love them. I love them so much. And considering the fact that Aria isn't very fond of typical Rosewood boys, and Noel is kind of the epitome, like the standard for a typical Rosewood boy, it was so cute that she loved him. And she had a crush on him before Allison went missing. So they had some history, and honestly, Noel always kind of liked her. But he also kind of liked Allison, which is the part that which is kind of icky, to be quite honest. That's the thing that I don't like about Noel, is that he always kind of had a crush on Allison as well. On Courtney or on Allison. Yeah, it was a little messy. And honestly, I kind of hate the fact that since they got together, like every single plot line in the books were trying to break them off. For some reason, was trying so hard to break them off. Like, what did they do? And honestly, that makes sense, considering the fact that A is Allison. And Allison kind of had a little thing with Noel. Well, she never really liked him. She never really liked anyone. But she obviously wanted Noel to like her. So yeah. there was a plot line when that girl that I was talking about, her name is Claudia. She's a international transfer student. I don't remember where she was from. I think it was Slovakia or something. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. So she was a transfer student and she was staying at Noel's family's home. And at first Aria was like, oh, that's so cool, I want to be her friend. And obviously she was a little fishy because Claudia is gorgeous. She is blonde, beautiful, tall. She looked a little like Allison. And Aria was always kind of a little subconscious about like his past with Allison. So it's understandable, like, if your boyfriend and like a gorgeous new student were living under the same roof, you would be feeling a little off about it. But Aria wasn't really saying anything weird or doing anything. She was just trying to be friends. One day they went out shopping, and while Claudia, I think she was changing or something, Claudia's phone was buzzing and like she was receiving a lot of texts. So she accidentally, or maybe not, I don't remember, she saw a text talking about Aria, and literally she was just shit talking about Aria behind her back. And Aria is such a sweetheart. Like, she didn't confront her straight away. She was like, maybe I read it wrong. Maybe she didn't mean that. Maybe, like, she was trying to doubt that. And like, I think like a week later or 2 weeks later, she was having a conversation with Claudia. I think it was like on a skiing trip with Noel's family as well, and they were both on like this thing. I don't know what it's called. You know when you go up the mountains on this little elevator and you sit down? I think that was the thing. At least that's how I imagined it in my head. And that girl started talking crazy. She was like, and before that moment, she was always a cool girl with an accent, and everyone was really obsessed with her accent. She was acting like clueless a bit. Oh, like, I don't know, I don't understand, I'm sorry. But when they were up there alone, she started talking in a perfect English, like with no accent at all. And Aria is confused, Aria is shocked, and that girl's saying, I'm going to fuck your boyfriend and I'm going to steal him. And I'm sorry, I didn't say what the text was saying before that when Aria was reading it. She was telling her friend from her hometown about the fact that Noel is too good for Aria, so like she wants to steal him from her. And oh god, like, honestly, what happened after that, I don't blame Aria. I don't remember what it was like, but I think Aria accidentally pushed her off that thing, and like she fell off. She broke her legs and an arm or something, and that was crazy. But I don't blame her. I don't. I'm sorry. Yeah. But and after that, I didn't like the fact that Noel didn't trust. I know, I get it. Like, if you thought your girlfriend pushed someone off a cliff because she was jealous, it would be a little crazy. But still, I'm still upset at Noel for that, because even before that happened, the night before, Aria, Noel, and his brother were in a hot tub. They were waiting for Claudia. She was late for some reason. And then Claudia showed up, fully naked, fully butt cheek, vagina, boobs, naked. And Aria got upset, obviously. Aria covered her up and she yelled at her for understandable reasons. And Claudia was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And she started crying. She started like victimizing herself. Like, oh, it's just my culture. I thought everyone was going to be naked. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why didn't you ask anyone? Why did nobody stop her? And like, Aria was upset. She told Noel that like, she's trying to get to you. She's trying to be with you. And I was like, no, you're being paranoid. I'm sorry, what? What? Like, you just saw what happened and you're not going to say anything? Anyways, I think it's too late for today, so that might be it. Oh no, I actually have to mention one more thing. Later on, when Noel and Aria are on a break, she goes to this gallery event, and she talked to a guy who's like in his 30s, which is gross. And he flirts with her, which is gross, but okay. Then she goes home, and he shows up at her house, and she was like, what the fuck? And turns out he is going on a date with her mom. And I was like, okay, maybe he knew that she's her daughter, and maybe he was not flirting and just trying to be friendly to like make her like him as a future stepdad or something. And okay, I was cool with that. But then when Ella wasn't home, and I think they were watching a movie or something. Like, I don't even know what he was doing at Ella's home if Ella wasn't at home, bro. And he kissed her. Aria said, like, what the fuck are you doing? We can't do that. And he was like, you were hinting at it. You were asking for it. Like, what are you doing sitting around here in your pajamas? Like, excuse me, it's her house. It's her house. You came here for no fucking reason, mind I add. Oh my god. And it wasn't like a one-time thing. It happened multiple times. He even blackmailed her. He said, if you're not going to, like, flirt with me back, like, continue on with this fling, I'm going to tell your mom that you hit on me. I'm like, excuse me? And the worst thing is that I actually kind of think that her mom would believe something like that. That her mom would actually believe this random man over her daughter and kick her out again. Because that happened before. And Aria also thought so. So she just left the house. She started living with her dad. She only showed up at her mom's house when that guy wasn't there. And that's so fucking sad. Like, Aria was treated like shit throughout this whole book series. And she's like one of my favorite characters. She's so lovely. I love her. But yeah, I think that's it. Comment down below if you want more Aria Montgomery book series deep dive into her character, okay? I know the quality sucks, the lighting sucks, my voice sucks, but hey, at least that's me, yeah. Bye.